Good day, friends. Today is part two of From Shadows to Light, my journey. And so, if you did not hear part one, go back. It's on my playlist. Go and watch part one and follow me. Push subscribe so you know when I upload a new video. I'm telling the story of my life. Hopefully, the parts that the Lord brings back to my remembrance. I won't remember everything. And I do want to say that I won't be telling people's names and stuff like that for their privacy. But today let's start with the scripture because I thought about it after I did part one, and I should have did this scripture right here. And it's Jeremiah 29:11, and it is a very well-known scripture. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And so I wanted to read that because I feel like God knows all our plans, and even if our life is messed up at the beginning, how he can turn it around. Okay, so anyways, he knows why we're here. So today, part two. So today, I left off on part one. Again, if you didn't see it, just go back and watch it. I left off on part one on saying that, a small recap, that I had a good life, I had not loving parents, I wasn't in no abusive lifestyle growing up as a kid or nothing like that. And so that's not my story. I'm just telling you that's not part of my story. So anyways, when my parents divorced, I think we left off when my parents divorced at about when I was about 13. They had got a divorce, and that's when everything really changed. My mother worked a lot. And when I say a lot, she worked a lot. And so that left me at home a lot by myself. And I will say this because my mother is clean for decades, but she was in addiction for a while, and I don't know exactly how old I was when she first got in or whatever, but when you're in addiction, you don't make right judgments and stuff all the time, and none of the time when you're in addiction. And so anyways, I started being home alone by myself a lot, and started really going out and stuff. And fast forward a little bit because I don't remember all the parts, but I know that I got pregnant. And so before I got pregnant, I was in basketball. I was really in basketball. I was really good at basketball. It was a gift. I remember that the lady, the teacher, so my teacher, she was my basketball coach. She had talked to me this before summer break, and she was like, "You really got a future, stay focused, da 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 da." And heaven behold, I went out that summer and got pregnant. And so I was pregnant. I was pregnant at the age of 15. And back then, I know it's more common these days, but back then it was not common, honey. And so when I went back to school, I knew I was pregnant. They didn't know I was pregnant. I still tried to play basketball. Then they found out I was pregnant, and they took me out, which kind of discouraged me about school and everything because I was trying to do good because I wanted to stay on the team to play basketball. And so fast forward a little bit, got pregnant with my first son, had him. Right after I had him, I got into a relationship. Now, his father was older than me, and was a good guy, still a good guy. And so fast forward a little bit, when I had him, he was still a baby. I got into a relationship with an older gentleman. And when I say older, I know he was over 21. I was 15. And I was with him for a minute, and I fell in love with him. Ended up getting pregnant by him, having a stillborn baby. Come to find out, when I got pregnant by him, after I had my son, after we was together for a while, after I fell in love with him, I found out that my son's father and him were actually brothers. They had the same father. And so yeah, and I ended up being pregnant by him, had a stillborn baby. And after, I don't know, a year maybe, I don't even know if we were together a year, ended up leaving him. He was in addiction, and yeah, so ended up, as you young, you think you're going to be with somebody forever. No, that didn't happen. Ended up leaving him, and started, before I left him though, I started fighting depression. I tried to commit suicide. I remember I took some pills. When you're young, you think you're in love and you really going to be with somebody, and just started going through a whole lot of different emotions. At 15, I wrote down a little bit of stuff. And so I started battling depression really bad. And once I tried to kill myself and started being real rebellious to my mother. And so, so I started being rebellious to my mother, talking back, very, very smart mouthed, wanting to fight, just really not a good child to my mother at all. And so once I remembered with the depression and stuff, and then she had put me into a mental hospital at one time. And my son was really young, and I don't know. And then I talked to her, and, to let me out after I got medicated and started getting help with depression and stuff. And so once I got out, I don't know how it came about, but we started talking about emancipation. And if you don't know what emancipation is, it is where your parents literally sign you off and say, yeah, I'm, you're no more rights. Like, I can take care of myself. Just saying that kind of, I was grown. I don't know if they still do that now or not. But yeah, so I became emancipated at the age of 15. And so we'll start talking about that on part 3. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so you know when I upload a new one. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.